Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be talking about the legendary gem pool changes that we've had over the last few patches and trying to figure out if they're any good and how to best utilize them. So it seems like Blizzard is tinkering with the legendary gem pool and every single patch notes now that we seem to have. So I kind of want to get to the bottom of this and just understand exactly how it works so that we as players can understand the best choice for us. So first of all, there's two different pools that we have right now. One is the standard drop rate and the other one is the legendary gem pool custom drop, which is going to be running for 20 more days. You can see that in the top right here. I'm going to start off by explaining the standard drop rates, which is pretty simple to explain. So a few months back, Blizzard actually changed the standard drop rate. So instead of us having all of the gems in the pool, a few gems have actually been retired from the pool, and you can see this by clicking the plus icon here. So you can see that all of these gems basically have been removed completely from the pool. So we've had a few 5-star gems here and a few 2-star gems and also the 1-star gems here. And the reasoning behind this is that these gems weren't being used by players so much, probably because their effects aren't as good. There are some gems here which are pretty good though. For example, Chip of Stone Flesh can be very useful depending on the build you're playing, and it's especially good in PvP and also PvE for the armor break effect. So some of these can be useful and situational depending on the build you're playing. Another one is Concentrated Will with the dashes is also okay in my opinion. For the 2-star gems, I have also seen a few people running these gems. So Battle Guard, for example, I know that this is kind of a favorite among people who like to build a tanky spec for the melee damage reduction, and then Cutthroat Scrin also for people who like to do dummy tests and increasing your critical hit chance. And also Follower's Burden, kind of fallen out of favor a bit, but I know that a few necromancers or people stacking summons do still like to use this gem. As far as how the standard legendary gem pool works now that all of these gems have essentially been retired and completely removed from the gem pool, all you can do if you want to get a copy of them is select one of them. So you'll only be able to select one here, and if you change your selection, it's going to replace it. So you only get to select one. And the only other way, let's say if you need two of them, like let's say I have a Howler's Call and a Svensson in my setup, I can only select one of them, and I'd have to buy all of the other copies of Svensson because Svensson won't be selected in my gem pool and has 0% chance of dropping when a 5-star legendary gem drops. So this is kind of the downside, is if you have two of these gems in your setup, it's going to be very hard for you to rank them up yourself, and you'll have to rely on the market. So as far as what I've done in my selection, I haven't selected any of these at all. So you do also have the choice of not selecting any of these. And for the 2-stars, I've selected Cutthroat Scrin because this gem comes up a lot in my resonant gem slots, and I don't have it at rank 10 currently. And then for the 1-star gem, I've just gone for this one. But yeah, just select one of them based on the selection that you want, and you're good to go. What I'd say though is it's normally not worth running press when the game only has the standard drop rate option. So normally the game does have these limited time custom drops or some kind of boosted drop, like for example for the Colossus Surge, we had the limited boost drop where if a 5-star gem drops, it was like 50% chance that it would be Colossus Surge. Normally it is worth running on these boosted drops rather than the standard drops, so you can only have one of these options selected at one time. So for me right now, I've selected the legendary gem pool with custom drops, and it is actually worth you selecting this over the standard drop rates in my opinion. So let's quickly explain how it works. So normally you'd have a button in the middle here and you could select some gems, but I'll explain because basically there's two buttons, so it is a bit confusing. It even caught me off guard. So there's one button down here and one button in the middle. So the first one that you want to be pressing is the button down here actually, and what this says is select a pool of 5-star and 2-star gems, then select gems from that pool to boost their drop rate by 10%. Okay, interesting. So if we click this button here, what this does is you can select your gem pool, and this is basically custom for yourself. So you can select up to 16 gems from the whole pool of 5-stars. This includes the ones that have been retired, so I could technically select the Hilt of Many Realms, and this is going to be my pool. So I've selected my 16 gems for the 5-star. This means that I cannot drop Frozen Heart in my pool. I cannot drop Howler's Call. All of these gems that I haven't selected have 0% chance to drop when a 5-star drops. And the same thing for the 2-star. Anything that I haven't selected here has a 0% chance to drop. And the really good thing is that we've got the Crimson Behelit gem as part of this 2-star drop pool. So this is how the legendary gem pool works with the gem selection down here. So what is this extra boosted drop rate by 10%? So this is the button that you get in the middle here. And if you click this button, if I just go ahead and click one of these gems, I can show you guys. In this window, it says select legendary gems to boost their drop rate. So this works off the pool that you've selected in the previous window here. So it's only showing the gems that you have selected, the 16 gems that you've selected. Anything that you haven't selected, you can see that it has an X here and it's not showing at all. But of course, if you were to change your pool here, you will actually be able to select these gems as the boosted drop rate. So this is based off your selections, like I said. And these 8 selected gems will basically have an increased chance to drop. So it says here that the drop rate will be boosted by 10%, but this isn't actually true. This is a mistranslation, I think. What it does is it sets the drop rate to 10%. It doesn't increase it by 10%. So if we click the eye here, we can actually get a better explanation of this. You can see that, for example, Chip of Stone Flesh has a 2.5% chance to drop, and this is because I haven't selected it as one of my 8 boosted gems, whereas Seeping Bile, the drop rate has been set to 10%. It hasn't been increased by 10%, it's been set to 10%. And any of these 8 boosted gems that I've selected has a 10% chance to drop when a 5-star legendary gem drops. So a 5-star legendary gem drops at a 4.5% chance. So if you put in any legendary crest, you have a 4.5% chance for a 5-star to drop. And then if you're lucky enough to hit that 4.5%, well, then it's a 1 in 10 chance that you get one of these 8 gems here. And then it's a 2.5% chance for all of the other gems that you've selected in your 16 gems down here. So I hope that that makes sense. It's kind of confusing and I wasn't sure exactly how this worked, and it works the same way for the 2-star gems as well. So you can also select 8 of these boosted ones, and like I said, it works based off pool that you have. So in my case, I really wanted the Crimson Behelit and the Spectre Glass, so these were the first 2 that I selected. And then just like the 5 stars, we can click the eye and see for the 2-star gems. So it's a 2.2% chance for the non-boosted ones to drop in your pool, and this is because the 2 stars have 17 rather than 16 that you can select. And then for all of the other gems, it's actually been set to a 10% chance, just like with the 5 stars. So I've selected Follower's Burden, Bloody Reach, and like I said, 2 that I really wanted are the Spectre Glass and the Crimson Behelit. So how should you actually go about selecting this? Well, there's no real right answer to this. You should just select the gems that you really want to drop. But in my case, because we have the standard drop rates, I kind of use this as a reference. So we can see that in the standard drop rate, all of these 2 stars have been retired, like I explained. So what I did is I took this information and I selected all of those 2 stars that have been retired. So I've got the Cutthroat's Grin, Battle Guard, Unity Crystal. I've also selected the Terror of the Comet, and also the Follower's Burden. So these 5 have been retired, and not only did I select them here, but I also selected them as part of my boosted gems, and this will give me a 10% chance that when a 2-star drops, it's going to be one of these, like I explained. So this might not be the strategy that you want to employ, especially if you're free to play. You should just select the gems that you're actually using in your setup. But in my case, because I'm using a mix of 5-star and 2-star gems, I found that this is the best strategy because I want to get a chance to have these gems that usually don't drop as part of the standard drop pool. And also, if I'm running Eternal Crest or something like that, those gems will be tradable, so normally they'll be selling on the market for a bit higher. So if I drop like a Follower's Burden, I can sell that for a bit higher compared to like a Power and Command, which is selling actually for minimum price on my server. Same thing for Igneous Scorn, and same thing for most of these 2-star gems here. So I hope that this explanation makes sense, guys. Like I said, this legendary gem custom drop pool is actually better for us as players, and I'm happy to see this change as part of the recent patch notes. I kind of wish that this was a permanent thing rather than a limited time thing, but I do understand Blizzard is giving us one new event every time a new gem is released, and they do want us to run our crest and have some kind of FOMO, I guess, so that we run all of our crests at once. Personally, these days, I feel like this is having the opposite effect on me, and rather than actually using up all of my legendary gem crests at once, I find myself hoarding more and more of these crests simply because we don't know when they're going to give us another gem surge. And also with the mirror jewels, you never know when they're going to pop up, so I'm always saving crests now. And this is kind of a shame because rather than actually utilizing this, I'm having this hoarder mentality. I think it's really important to make these kind of videos and take a closer look at this legendary gem drop pool, because at the end of the day, players are spending real money in this, and this is obviously a way for Blizzard to extract more money and make some profits from the legendary gems. They are nice and they do give us some nice effects, so players do obviously really like them, but it's useful to take a closer look at these systems every once in a while and then decide if we as players are getting screwed by the changes that Blizzard is making. In this occasion, I don't think we're getting screwed, and this is actually a pretty nice change, but do let me know your thoughts in the comments below, guys. For now, I'm going to be signing off, and I'm going to catch you all in the next video. Peace.